Hello and welcome to my video. This one's going to be a little bit more interesting. It's not just going to be drawings, past and present, past pictures I've done this year for 2009. So, video was made 2009, remember that folks. I'm not only going to just go through all my sketches here that I've done so far this year. See, not all sketches turn out great. Experimenting. A few of the sketches, I fix them up later with the iPad. A lot of Invader Zim. But yes, this is some cartoons, but cartoons. I'm going to try and do some drawing, yes, so you watch me doing some drawing in a minute. I loved that sketch, it came out so well. That was reference to a comic. I had fun because people kept joking around saying, oh, they always draw Zim in a dress now, but I barely ever see Dim in one. I thought, okay, for the joke of that, I'll draw him in one. And surprisingly enough, I thought it was cute. Now, Pokemon, anime, yes. I wanna be, oh yeah, I never finished. I should color that in later. Nah, wasn't that fond of that sketch. There you go. So, yeah, that's for next year. You watched me draw that already. Okay, we need a clean page. But before I start the drawing, I want to talk about some of my favorite anime and manga over the years that the people have all known and talk about, or don't really talk about enough. And I'm going to let you guys guess which ones you haven't heard much of. Like, some of it's really old school. Let's start off with Cyborg 009. I have to put that back away in a minute. Tis one of my favorite ones as a lot younger. I came across it in JB Hi-Fi one day. And I was like, oh, what's this? It looks cartoony, but it's anime? I better pick this up. And I've loved it ever since. I ended up picking up the manga as well, but I think that's in the garage somewhere, so we're not going to go over that again. Another one I think you guys will all enjoy, and I love to pieces, is Mushishi, which is, I definitely wanted to talk about that with you guys. Got the whole first season and the manga and the second season, but they never dubbed the second season because I think not enough people were into it anymore. I don't know what the story was, which was a shame because it's a really good series. And I was a teenager when I first got into it. Let me see, how did I get into Mushishi again? Oh yeah, I put it as when my family asked me, what do you want for Christmas? I said, get me an anime I haven't seen yet that's really pretty. And they got me this one. And my mom and sisters got together and got me this one. It was my first thing of the series, and I fell in love with it. It is so pretty. The artwork is pretty. The story is amazing. The characters are amusing. Definitely recommend. And we have One Piece. Yeah, I need to watch these movies. I go for the Shonen Jump uncut version. I would recommend going for that one if you want the uncut one, because I would not recommend the dub one of that time. But this one has been dubbed decently, and they do a good job, and they actually do the parts decent, because I think it's such a long running series they had to go back over because Japan had a huge, I need to watch these movies, they are good. And One Piece, recommend that. Unico. Oh gosh, how do I love Unico. It is a good little manga. I think there's an anime somewhere, but it's such an old school one. I wasn't sure if it's been going to get redubbed here or not. And let me see. Ah yes, this is a new manga series I've started reading. How to Treat Magical Beasts. The artwork's actually not bad, and I like the story. It's cute. If you want to learn about funny little creatures in a manga-like style, I recommend it. I don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea. Another one I think not many people talk about anymore. It never got an anime, which I'm so disappointed because it deserves an anime, is Automen. Totally the best. My favorite series. I'm not sure how I'd explain this to everybody. It's done by it was in Japan's series of Shono Beats, I think, Manga from the Heart, which is mostly, there's two types. Whereas, how do I explain this thing? In Japan, they have two magazines for manga reading together. You've got Shonen Jump, which is meant to be aimed at guys, I guess, but girls can read it too, so it's mostly more of the action-packed stuff. A lot of sports animes do end up in that one, actually. I found out recently, but a lot of the action-packed stories, like your Dragon Ball Z, what else was there? I'm forgetting names off the top of my head. I know, like One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and my other favorite one, which I mentioned is in there. Yep, that's the newest shonen one, and I love it. Highly recommend. But whereas there's another one that's mostly aimed at romance stories, I guess, or a girly nature sort of like stories, is Shono Beat. But I'd just say it's more feminine, because technically guys can read feminine stuff and girls can read boyish, manly stuff too, and both can like what they like, but they like it for different reasons. So I'd say everyone should be allowed to read whatever they want. I'm not too biased over one or the other. It's a manga series I love. I will probably draw later, but I wanted to go over some of my favorites. It's a bit weird, Midori Days, but I love it. I would recommend it, but I don't think many people talk about it anymore. It was so funny, this series. I cannot believe I managed to grab where the heck did I manage to grab it? It's in Australia. I managed to grab it, but because we're so multicultural as well, we get a lot of things from Asia, and we get a lot of things. Here. One of the other things I wanted to talk about. Black Jack. He is one of my most favorite. It's done by the same guy. I know you've all heard of Astro Boy. If not, he's done a few series. He did Unico, which is interesting because he didn't just stick to one genre. He did so many, but it's thanks to him that we get all this manga and anime and stuff to begin with, because he brought that to Japan. And then all the other artists started doing, their own thing after him. But he's the one, but his, I think, favorite character to do was Blackjack. And this is definitely not what I would recommend for kids, but I love this. Well, it's got a few dark themes, and it's... I'm forgetting where I picked that up, but I know I got it somewhere here, but it has English subtitles, so I haven't been able to watch it. These two are, I think, got also Chinese, so I think this is from China. I guess it was from, I might have gotten those in Chinatown somewhere if I was lucky. If I was lucky, or a friend of mine helped me get them. Like with One Piece, when I first got into that, actually, where most people maybe might have saw the first one when they got dubbed. Oh, that horrible dub. Good Lord, who was thinking that idea? It was so bad. Oh God, that was so bad. No, the first time I saw that was my sister. I grew up with a family of 3 girls, and we all got into anime at the same time. Though it was me in the middle. I was the oldest of 3, but it's the middle sister and I would be the ones who got into it the most. Jen just sort of got into it afterwards, but I haven't seen her go after anime anymore still. Sad. But her friend, she was in a group of friends who actually, it was funny, she's like the only non-Asian in her friends group. Because a lot were from Korea or China. Maybe there was someone from Japan, I don't remember. But her friend Cecilia, who's really awesome, not name names, ended up having the whole One Piece series with some English subtitles, but it was still in Japanese. We didn't have English dub when we first watched it, and I loved it. And I was like, and it didn't, she didn't have like, she only had up to a certain arc, like after Chopper caught him in, so, and then I had to wait, and then like when I saw they were going to dub it, I thought, oh man, I'll get to see more, and good Lord, you should have seen how much my heart sank when I saw how badly they dubbed it, and they cut out so much of the story. I was so upset, because so much plot line was cut out. But then Then I was so happy when they came and finally did a decent One Piece uncut version from the Shonen Jump series, because they had to, I think. So Madman, thank you Madman, the genius person who made this happen. They got us the uncut ones, and I would recommend, if you want to start One Piece, I would go with the uncut version, because you can either watch it with subtitles in the normal Japanese, or they got some really decent dubbers who actually got a chance. Well, the voice actors actually got to talk with some of the voice actors who did the original Japanese dub, so they've actually done a decent job, and they're actually not, shitting all over the whole series. So I recommend that. Mushishi, as I said, best anime. I mean, it's really, I would recommend it. Now, Blackjack. He, I think, was one of my favorite out of tournament. I can't say it. I butcher the languages. I'm not good with languages. This is why I'm weird. Okay, let me see. Aha, Blackjack. I used to put my name in all these things. Teenage me. A friend of mine got into it. He was a big Dragon Ball Z fan. He still is, but he saw that I was getting into it too, and he recommended it. It's a very interesting series, because actually I think not a lot of people realize Omazu, oh god, why do I keep butchering names? Anyway, the guy who came up with Astro Boy and Unico and Princess Knight and Kimber the White Lion, yeah, he did that too. He did a lot of interesting series. This is one of his more darker series, and I would not recommend giving this to kiddies, because I think before he became a manga artist, actually, he was studying to be a doctor. And so a lot of his doctor references end up in this one. So I'm very fascinated how, for like its time, like for an old school manga, you can see all this a little bloody and gory. Sorry about that. It's definitely not something I recommend for kiddies. Like, yeah, this story is so interesting. Like, I don't want to spoil anything for any of these. I want you guys to really get into them. Like, I would recommend this. Ottoman. It's a great manga series. If you have a chance to get it, it's being dubbed by the Shono Beat manga series, I guess. So these two, if you want like a more romance-styled like stories, I would say Shonen Beats Your Story. If you want something a bit more action-packed and adventure, I would say Shonen Jump would be the mangas you go for. Done by the Shonen Jump series, so hence, My Hero Academia is not going to have much romance in there. Neither will Hiroku, even though I love that series. Haha. I guess I'm not going to end up doing much drawing in this video the rate I'm going. But I do need to put one of my things away in a minute. Let me see. Mushishi stuff I will put away in a minute. Alright, I will show you some other stuff first as I go on. Tis the amazingness of Mushishi. I would recommend the manga too, because actually the story behind that one is an artist. See, there's the manga. I would recommend. Totally love it. And some of the anime. And She's Sweet Home. Definitely recommend that one. Sorry, you're gonna hear me rambling on about anime. Okay, let's see. Carnival. Ooh, good anime. I love that series. The artwork in there is great. The story was interesting. I'm just sad there's not a second. Kids on the Slope. Recommend that too. One of my other favorites. It's a good movie. Arm. Spirits of the Past. I haven't heard anyone talk about that in ages. It's such a good movie. My friend and I love this. And I could watch it with my mom all the time. Another Astro Boy movie. I am such a Astro Boy, Astro Boy, oh, Astro Boy. Go Lip Through Time. It is so beautiful. Kind of like Wolf's Children. Highly recommend that too. Sorry, there's some cartoons along all this stuff, so I am a cartoons geek. Yep, I know Anime Mercury reviewed that. My loves. Let's see, yes, we got Beck here. Oh, Beck. Beck is awesome anime. I would recommend that if you love. I haven't got the anime to that yet, but see, Not all it's all romance though that goes in that thing, but I think it's got more of a magical nature to it. Maybe that's why it's under Shoujo Beats. It's not all romance, but they do sometimes magical stories, so again, same thing. This one, Picture of a Horrors Lady. I loved her stuff. She's done a few others, but not all of them have been translated because, you know, this guys who went out of business, I haven't seen them again. Not a lot of things manga-wise has been translated and got out of there and gone to Australia or America anymore. It's such a disappointment. Anime that I would recommend for sure, 12 Kingdoms. Because the characters get a lot of the characters in this. I loved it, but it's like it stopped and I was so sad that they haven't continued in doing more because it was such an awesome series. I think the company that was doing it ran out of money, or I don't know what the story is going on. King of Banjing, definitely another one I recommend. Say I Love You. I have some of the manga somewhere. That's how I know it first. The anime is not too bad, though I like the manga a bit better. I haven't read more of that in a while. Beck, as I was saying, it is the best music anime my option, but when it's not so, if you don't want to like pop music so much, a friend got me into that one. Ah, don't you break on me, don't. Yeah, I'm a bit of a geek. Like I've been going on about my favorite cartoons here as well, but I don't think we're going on that one. This one, oh, it's such a good anime series. It's a bit scary though, so there's some really creepy stuff in there, and I don't want to spoil any of these, but this is just my recommendations. As you can see, I am a big fan of Clamp's XX-holic and Cardcaptor Sakura. This is the one with Japanese with English subtitles. I think Man's done this one. Yep, but they didn't dub it. It's not dubbed. This is the undubbed version. If you want to watch it without it being dubbed, with just subtitles, I recommend getting this too. It's the first and seconds. Your collection 1 and collection 2. So it's like a whole collection of them. I have to sit down and watch them again. I liked the XX-holic more over that, but they did sort of do a movie crossover with each other. The XX-holic movie was a lot more fun. That one I like more. The XX-holic series I absolutely love. I've been collecting some of the re-manga as well. What else can I show you guys? Ugh, man, there's not enough light in here, is there? Sorry if you can't see it too well. My family collected a lot of the Studio Ghibli films. That's what I can watch with my mum and family and blah 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 blah. And as I can see, Ozume Diary's in here. Again, I know Anime Maker reviewed that, so if you want to learn more about that get them. If you want to learn more about Yuzu Drop, I would suggest getting Anime America to do it because they do better without spoiling it, and then they warn you when the spoiling comes on, so you can skip them then. I need to watch the second manga series of this one, but I've watched the first one, and I have the manga somewhere I've read. The season 2 I need to watch, but this one, also fun. Has Anime Maker reviewed that yet? Well, the first 2 seasons are out on DVD somewhere. I would recommend them. If you want me to talk cartoons I like, just because. I've got you here. Sea Witch is good, but I think Secret of the Kells is even better. Though I love both. I mean, everyone's their own mindset. I am not telling people how to live their lives. And 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Steven Universe. It's so good. I need to get that a movie in. It's been spoiled for me so badly. What's this one? Oh, yes, Secret Garden. That's an old movie I liked. But we're not going over that. We're going anime. So this is some of them. And I forgot Cheese Sweet Home, didn't I? And Cheese Sweet Neighborhood. Haha, it's a good series. I would recommend it. This is just a small snippet of things I've been into over the years. And excuse me while I go and try. There we go. Oh boy. We're going to travel into the rest of the house. Ooh, see? More things there. I might as well go grab some other things. Cartoon-wise, aha! I love this anime. It's on Netflix right now. If you have Netflix, I would highly recommend watching it. Or you grab the DVDs, one or the other. I would just highly suggest doing that to support things. I am a Lego geek. All the Lego series that I can get, and Ninja Turtles, and some Pokemon. Don't ask me what my favorite Pokemons are right now. I have the manga somewhere, but I forgot where I put it. Where have I put it? You're gonna hear me going on and on. That's not what you want to see, so we're going back into the rest of the household. I'm gonna put some things away in 5 minutes. But we want to do some drawing now, don't we? Yeah, I've kept you guys long enough. Oh yes, I heard there's an anime for this now. I didn't even know there was one. But this is one of my other favorite manga series done by Miyazaki. He didn't do just kiddie stuff or magical stuff all the time. He did do some darker series. And this one's only 3 mangas long. That's how much they've translated. I don't know if there's more. If there is, they haven't bothered translating it, which is a disappointment. Australia only gets so much. But yes, I think you came here to watch me draw mostly, didn't you? Waterman, I love that manga series. I have to reread that again. I've totally forgotten some things. That's why I don't think I recommend me doing all the reviewing, but I can tell you. Let's do some of this then. The anime's probably had to... Didn't take the same style though, because it's an old school manga. It's definitely old school. I love this series. The manga series. I haven't seen the anime. I need to see it. I am so disappointed I didn't hear about it. I've been too alone. Too much busy working with a hospital kitchen, you know. You don't always get the hot news. I'm gonna go back to anime conventions again. My sister's wedding got in the way of a lot of things. But I highly recommend this series, manga-wise. If you have not read the manga, I suppose you watching the anime, but I cannot recommend enough this one. So, and yes, Cyborg 09, the manga, is probably hard for you to find because that is a really old series. It's actually Blackjack, this one, and One Piece. I definitely know are some of the oldest. I think Naruto came before One Piece, didn't it? I don't know, but there's some of the oldest. Not One Piece isn't that old. It's like from the 2000s, I think. But manga that's done like Cyborg 009, Dotaro, I think, Blackjack, Unico, Princess Knight. They're like the really old school manga, I would call it. Old school manga and anime, because they were some of the firsts. If it wasn't for them to come in, you would not be getting the anime manga we have now. I really wish Ottoman would get an anime. It's so good. But what can you do? So, we're going back to drawing now, aren't we? First off, I'm going to do some random off the top head drawings of some of my own characters. Okay. When you want to start drawing, sometimes they say you should warm up first, which is probably what I should have done first. Scribbling little circles, scribble, scribble, scribble. Maybe draw a spiral here and there. Not that interesting, I know. Draw some circles. Draw the circle. Here's the earth. That's the earth. Sorry if you're hearing me ramble the whole time. I think my other drawing videos might be a bit more interesting because you're watching me draw the whole time. But I figured I'd make it like one video about some manga. So I think, because I can do that. I can draw, haha, like squiggles. Okay, back to this. When you want to start a drawing, you have to think of shapes. Sometimes I like to use thinking of 2 circles for one of my particular characters. And then we have the body, so you gotta put like a little neck in there. I mean, everyone has a different way of drawing things, and you gotta like split different shapes. Well, with the cartoon, some characters only have like, what, 3 fingers and a thumb? Which is what we do here with this particular character of mine. And then their feet are like this, so if you're going more cartoon. And this is a chibi style, so you don't have to go over the top with details. Same with certain cartoons, that's why you can get away with certain things, but it's a beautiful art form. That's what gets me to certain animes and mangas and cartoons and stuff. I like the art, not just, but it has to have a good story too. If the story's boring, then it's like, oh, I'm just looking at it because it's got pretty pictures. And the characters have to be interesting too. Put a little bow on this one. This is my little other mascot. She's gonna wave hello to you all. She's not much of a talker, but she sure gets into a lot of mischief. Drawing is so fun, drawing is so fun. Now it's time to take a break and see what we have done. Wait, it's not finished. Get back to work. Hope you didn't mind me going through all my stuff there for a minute. And that's nice, just a slice of the apple burger or iceberg. Freak, I mucked up my words. I've always had a fascination with skeletons, I guess. I even built one in the 3rd grade. A skeleton about as big as me out of paper and cardboard. There she is, my little skeleton monster. Ain't she a cutie? She can be quite a cheeky, but she's a sweetie. Mostly. Just, don't try to tick her off, man. One little rib, 2 little ribs, 3 little ribs, diddle-dip. Damn it! That last anime, if I wasn't watching. I like a lot of cartoons, I like a lot of anime, I like animation in the whole. I can't choose one over the other, so I can't say I'm going to be just one. Doodle-doot. I love both cartoons and anime. I cannot choose just one. I am a fan of both. I mean, seriously, dude. I cannot stand reality TV anymore because it's so faked. Even though they say it's reality, it's really faked. A lot of it is. It's not realistic anymore anyway. There we go. A little drawing to make up for me going all over the place. Sorry about that. You're gonna have a boring video. Okay. Me yabbling on the background. There's no one else this time. Maybe the cats, but here we have drawn, without reference, Spooky Kitty Cat Girl, the Skellington Monster Girl. She's one of my newest mascots, actually. She's waving to you. I haven't really used YouTube long, so I've used my Instagram longer than most of my other things. Well, I also have a Facebook. It's just under my... I don't know if I want to recommend my Facebook, because it's usually I just have it there to keep in contact with, to see what my dad's up to half the time. I mean, I love him, but he can be very judgmental. And he's not that supportive of the arts as he says he is, so I'm very annoyed when he says he is. Anyway, I love him, but I have my issues. Daddy issues, everyone. There we go, a little drawing. It's so hot here in Australia right now. I tell you. Tomorrow's going to be even worse, I hear. It's going to be like a huge heat wave. Mum and I are going to probably plan to hide out in the shops and maybe watch Frozen. I mean, Disney sort of has a few issues with the both of us, but we have to admit they do good movies. Some of the time when they're not over milking the thing. Well, Disney has a really bad habit of over milking things. I wonder if... Did Japan learn that horrible habit from them? Because I know, the guy who says is the godfather of anime manga, who literally is, because he brought it to them. All the series, he's the one who first brought in all sorts of things. And we are done drawing. Ha. So, I will have to put some of this away in a minute before everyone comes home, but there we go. And thank you for watching. Oh, thank you very much.